Morning, Saturday, June 18th. We did a little bit of baling yesterday, mostly raking. Now it's time to continue to bale and arcusin. Made a few bundles, put a few bundles away last night. And now we're gonna try and hit it hard this morning. What are you doing here? Lucy was a naughty girl and ran across the road. You're not supposed to go across the road.
As you can tell, Pete's pretty tired and not being a very great storyteller. Later in the video, you will see him try and put some sentences together that are just not gonna make sense. That's all right, because you got me. We're gonna do some cool drone shots from yesterday baling. We got Dad picked all the grease zerks that I forgot, filled it up with some fuel to go out and bundle. The dude should probably be off, be close to off. Here we go. Take it easy, buddy. Let me handle it from here. Maybe we'll do a voiceover. Gotta figure out how to put me in the bottom right corner here. Hold on. Left, right. Probably top right, so we don't block the image. I'm Paul, twin brother of Pete. Edit all the videos, and it's nice actually because when he can't talk or make good footage, I can just jump in, kind of start explaining a few things. So works out good for everyone. Right here, we're driving the Case 830. This is neighbor Trevor's tractor. Great. Came in handy. Nice thing about it is it sits tall. The nice thing about sitting tall is that you can see over the fender. You can see those bales actually going into that chute right on the arcusin. I think this was probably Pete's first time running the arcusin without neighbor Trevor being around, so you have some disadvantages kind of running something for yourself for the first time like that. He just missed a bale, but he got the second bale. Running through here, picking up bales, man, this thing really came in handy. Relatively easy to run for the most part. It was a little bit of a learning curve, but when you jump from, say, forage wagons to something like this with a little bit more technology, it's got its own controller. It pretty much runs itself, but you still got to figure out how to run it. It is what it is. So here's coming up on the first bundle. I think this is probably the last bale coming through here. This should be the tie, so you can see the tie. And at this point, we notice something's up. The bales are actually supposed to be connected together. Now here's Peter trying to diagnose what's going on. Who knows? What do? You got to pick up bales, start putting them back together. Maybe it was a mistie, maybe it was something else. So here he is reloading 14 bales back into the arcusin. About to check where it's about to dump. Wants to check the tie situation right here. So this is where the knotters go up, tie. Right there you can see a bale kind of falling apart. Soon to come find out, I don't think Pete knew at this point. You could hardly put a sentence together, but the tension was set to 140. I know that the old owner of this was doing corn stalks, and he must add higher gauge or higher tensioned baler twine both on the bales and the bundler itself. So now here is the second bundle being tied, still running into that same issue. That bottom bale right there was breaking. So I don't know if Pete was making modifications to the actual bundler itself. I think it was probably like the third or fourth or fifth day working with Trevor, figuring out what was actually going on here. When we thought it was the bale or the bundle count at first, so we ended up lowering it all the way down to 50 and would barely move the table up and down. I'll come to find out that was the bundle tension. So put it back, I think we set it right at 90 and stopped having a lot of those issues. So it's been a few long days. I think this is day 2 or day 3 of baling. It's important to, once you stop putting bales onto the field, that you pick them up right away. And then you also have to put them away into the shed as well. You put them way into the shed so it doesn't get rained on. So it's been a long few nights of trying to get these bales out. So here's another thing that had happened to Pete was bale spacing is very important on these arcusins. We were making our bales probably about 31, 32 inches, trying to make it as consistent as possible. When it would get up on that table right there, it would actually stop on the chain because the chain couldn't push it anymore. You can see there was a little, like a spring-loaded switch that would actually engage that push arm back. If it wasn't long enough bale, it wouldn't hit that switch to engage that bale coming back. And then that next bale behind it would actually push it onto the switch, and then it would jam it through up and in. So bale consistency is important, making sure your bales aren't too short, or we got to put an extension onto that that switch there on the bundler, so we can do shorter bales. So it seems it's still trying to figure out all these things the first year running it. It's gonna happen, it's bound to happen. The nice thing is that we can figure it out and get a lot faster going next year. So making a few bundles, everything seems to be sticking. I think here's an up and coming issue. It all keeps stemming from that bale consistency, or that bale length between the bales. So putting it up on the chamber too quickly can cause a lot of issues. So as you can see, this was an issue. I believe what had happened is Peter had switched it from manual. It's definitely Peter. Peter switched it from manual or auto to manual because those two bales were coming up on the table and wanted to stop that table. At that point, Peter flipped the switch to push that arm back so the table could still start going up. The issue with that is when you're in manual, that pressure arm needs to keep pressure on those two bales as that table comes up to get across those 4 vertical bars right there. It's real tight fit. If it doesn't, it starts turning the bale up and into it. So right here is actually what it's supposed to look like. See, it keeps it on the bale as the table moves up to make sure that the bale goes up there in an even fashion. So probably struggled for this, probably a few more hours. Dad got out there and started baling. But yeah, it was a pretty good day. Didn't have to touch as many bales, so yeah. Take it over, Dad.
Fine. What'd you do all day? Bale?
Nothing. Supervise.
Yeah. How was the AC in the tractor?
It shows it's weak when radiator's dirty.
You overheated a few times, didn't you, today?
No,
Or just once?
Not at all today.
Oh.
I just watched the gauge.
Gauge was going up, so you took that time to grease it?
Yep.
How many bales do you think you did today?
1,200.
1,200? Are you sure? What did we start off with today on the counter?
Started out with 1,200, didn't you? I don't
Yeah,
know.
because it's 2,500.
Well, I'm going to say 1,500. 25, 54, 1,300.
1,300. Not too bad.
For a half a day's work.
Do you want any pop or anything? I can go to Bill's and pick up some pop for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Father's Day, you know.
Are we doing any work tomorrow?
I don't know. I probably will.
I will stick around with you, man. Thanks for watching.